Too lazy to spike my hair, so fuck this is doing another hat video. Either way, so back in the day, right, I used to, hang out with, my old dog Marcus all the fucking time, right? And so we used to hang out and shit and whatnot. This is the same guy that beat my ass in one-arm boxing. And so basically, what ended up happening was that there were a lot of times where we would hang out and we would have Nerf wars, right? And we would have Nerf wars with like a bunch of the neighborhood kids, right? Now, we would have fun or whatever, and we would split it up into teams, usually of like 3 or 4, and we would go all out and be like, whole 9 yards. It was pretty fun. It was really fucking fun. It was nice as fuck. The rules were simple. You got shot, you were out, right? So we would be like, like dodging all that whole 9 yards type shit. Let me tell you, my dog Marcus came out there with a fucking like a fucking Nerf gun that like shot these discs. So, like, when I first fought him, when he had the fucking disc gun, because I had just the darts, he had the disc gun. Let me tell you, right fucking now, he shot the disc gun at me. And so I'm like, whoa, like I'm dodging it like how I normally would a bullet. That's not how this worked. It would go, whoa, like, I was out. That shit curved on my ass. But either way, enough of that side note. Basically, we'd have a lot of fun. And so we would have fun with Marcus, Chris, sometimes Marcus's cousins that would come in to visit. And then we had a few neighborhood kids join us. One of them being this kid named Jules, and one of them being this kid named Amari. Now, what ended up happening was that back in the day, right, there wasn't many houses behind my house, right? Behind my house, there is probably about 12 houses back there, right? It's like a little lot, right? It's a little lot of houses. Well, back then, there was probably about only like maybe 6 at most, right? There wasn't many. So where the houses are now, there was a bunch of dirt and shit, and so we would use that to our advantage and just be like, pew, 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 and shooting it up, right? Well, what ended up happening one day is that Jules is like a little younger than us. I don't remember the exact age of what he is, but I know he's younger than all of us, right? And so what ends up happening is that Jules, like the sandlot is literally across the street from his house, right? The big ass sandlot. So he could walk to his house, even if he was down the, street from the sand, like from his, down the street of the sandlot, he could still walk to his house within like half a minute. Like it's not that fucking far. Well, one day, we're playing Nerf Wars in the Sandlot, right? And we're literally across his house. We're like across the street from his house. And he tells us, hey guys, I gotta piss. And so we're like, hey man, you could just go inside and we'll literally wait for you until like you're done and we could continue our game. And he's like, but I gotta pee right now. We're like, you can still go. Your house is right there. And so he's like, nah, I think I'll just pee right here. And so he literally whips out his penis and starts pissing in front of us. We're like, oh, no, I'm not going to jail. I didn't ask for this, right? I'm not going to jail. And so after that happened, he's just laughing it up, right? Laughing his ass off, right? And so we're like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? We're like, why the fuck did you do that? And he's like, I had to piss. Probably the most straightforward answer I've ever heard in my motherfucking life, but still. And so we were like, dude, you can't do that in front of us. Like, that's a no-no. We ain't gay. We don't roll that way. Don't do that shit in front of us or we're gonna beat your fucking ass, right? And so, Jules, right? Jules was like, huh, okay. So he started using this to his advantage. He started using his penis to his advantage. Good lord, that sounds gay. Jesus Christ. And so basically what ends up happening is, the next time that this happens, right? The next time that the reckoning of the penis happens, right? Jesus Christ. What the fuck kind of gay shit am I saying? But either way, so one day, right? We go to Marcus's house. Me, Marcus, and, his brother. We're all chilling, right? And so, literally, keep in mind that from my house to Marcus's house, you walk out my front door, walk like 50 feet straight, you're at his front door. He's literally across the street. And so, we're chilling at Marcus's house. Marcus went inside to grab something. I don't know what he was grabbing. I think he was maybe changing or something. He was doing something, right? And so me and, his older brother are chilling outside. We're talking to each other. And we're like, yeah, we're ready to play some football because we're going to play like tag touch football or whatever the fuck you call it, which is basically like when you're playing football, but instead of tackling, you just tag them with both your hands. Either way. So we're like, yeah, we're talking about it or whatnot. Jules comes up and he's like, hey guys, what's up? And we're like, oh, nothing much. We're talking to him or whatever. We're just chill and whatnot. This has been some time since the last time he flashed us, right? And so he's talking to us, and he's like, hey guys, so like, I got a, a present for Marcus. Where is he, right? And we're like, oh, what is it? What's the present? And he's like, it's only for Marcus. And we're like, oh, come on, Jules. What's the gift? Come on now. We're not gonna tell him because me and, Marcus's brother were, naturally curious. And he's like, oh, okay, but where is he? And we're like, oh, he's inside. He's like, oh, okay. He whips out his penis in front of us. We're like, no, 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 no. We start like turning around, looking away from him. And he's like literally like laughing his ass off, showing off his penis or whatever. And then like, we didn't even hear him run into the fucking house, right? And so after we didn't hear his laughter anymore, me and, Marcus's older brother turned around and we're like, wait, where the fuck is he? And we're like, oh shit, where the fuck did he go? And then we're like, oh shit, he's gonna go for Marcus. And we're like, Marcus, wait! And I swear to God, all you hear is, hey, Marcus, I got a present for you. And he's like, oh, really? What is it? Oh my God! Like, I'm not joking. This is how it was, right? So I'm running down the hall, and I hear like, what is it? Oh my God! And it's like, Mark! No! Like, let me tell you, I was laughing my ass off, and so was Marcus's brother. And Marcus is like, get the fuck out! And so we were like, oh my God, like, what the fuck, man? And so, we didn't understand, like, why the fuck this happened. We got pretty pissed. We told him he has to go home, right? Like, we told him, you have to go home. We don't want to play with you because all you want to do is show off your penis, right? So you would think after he flashed us twice, and we were both mad, we were all mad, both times, you would think after he flashed us twice, he would stop, right? Wrong. Very, very, very fucking wrong. So one day, my sister's just chilling and whatnot, and so one day we hear a knock at the door, right? Whole 9 yards type shit. A whole knock, bam, 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 bam. And the thing is that back then, it wasn't uncommon for one of my neighborhood friends to come knocking on my door and be like, hey, let's go hang out, let's go chill, whole 9 yards. So basically one of my relatives, if they heard the door and I didn't, they'd open the door and be like, hey, one of your friends is here. And I'd be like, oh, okay, let me go chill with them, right? Well, what ended up happening was that Rachel opened up the door, right? And Jules ended up flashing her, right? And so when Jules flashed her, he laughed about it. My sister came to the room and told me, I just saw Jules' dick. And when I heard that, I got really upset. And so I come up to the front door and I'm like, oh wow, it's raining. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? And so I'm like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you just flashed her, right? And I'm like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, oh, I just wanted to show her something. And I'm like, dude, you need to go the fuck home before I beat your ass. Because if you flash me after you flashed her, I'm gonna beat your ass. And he didn't believe me. He really didn't. And so this is what he tried to do. And you best believe this motherfucker tried to come at me with some of that gay shit. And you best believe I wasn't having any of it. So this motherfucker whips out his dick again. And he tries to touch me with it. I'm not joking. Like, this motherfucker's like right fucking here. And I'm like right here. And he literally tries to touch me with it. So you know what I did? I got pissed. I grabbed this motherfucker by the neck. And I just started going like this. Bam, bam, bam. I just started hitting his head right fucking here. Bam, bam, bam. Right? And so I just started beating the fuck out of this motherfucker's head, right? I just started hitting his fucking forehead against this. Wow, that looked very inappropriate, but you get my point. I started beating the shit out of this motherfucker. I just started plowing his head into the fucking door thingy. I don't know what the fuck that is. And so after that, I I don't know where the fuck my crackhead strength came from, but I picked him up with both hands. Both hands. I don't know where the fuck this crackhead strength came from, but I picked him up with both hands and threw him back, right? Threw him back onto the concrete floor. And I'm like, don't tell anyone about this. Because I was scared. I was like, don't tell anyone about this. And also, if you ever flash me again, I'm going to beat your ass again. So don't try me. So, then what ends up happening, right, was that I ended up going to, Marcus's house. And I'm like, dude, guess what? Jules just flashed me again. And so I tell him the whole story and whatnot. I tell him that I beat this motherfucker's ass, right? I beat this dude's ass with, like, no uncertain terms. Like, I beat this motherfucker's ass, right? And so Marcus didn't believe me, right? He didn't believe me that I beat his ass as bad as I stated, right? Because I was telling him, like, I fucked this motherfucker up, right? Well, almost on cue, right? Almost on fucking cue. This motherfucker comes up to Marcus's house, eating a popsicle, right? Eating a popsicle. Chill as fuck, right? Chill as fuck. And when I say this motherfucker had, like, the biggest motherfucking bruise on his forehead, let me tell you, his bruise was like this fucking big and this far off his head. I'm not exaggerating. I literally hurt him this fucking bad. He had a fucking, like, thing coming off his fucking forehead like this big. Like, it was... Dude, and he just comes up to us and he's like, "Sup, guys?" Dude, we all started laughing our asses off. And then, yeah, needless to say, they believed me after that, needless to say. Then, right, after that, we thought he had learned his lesson, right? We thought he learned his lesson. Well, right, what ended up happening was that we got tired of the fact that he flashed us 3 times. So we told his parents supposedly dealt with it. And so after they dealt with it, we were thinking, oh, this is the end. This is the end. So I go off, you know, I go all the way out to Miami for the summer, right? Shit, Ebola. Either way, I start going all the way out to Miami for the summer, right? And so while I'm down in Miami for the summer, I get a call from Marcus that he was playing football with, you know, his cousin Chris, this dude named Amari, which is the neighborhood kid I told you about earlier, and Jules. They were all playing two-hand touch football or whatever the fuck you call it. And basically Jules, at one point, straight up flashed everyone. And so, needless to say, that started a conflict between him and Chris. Which, funny enough, apparently, even though it started a conflict between him and Chris was like 2 or 3 years older than him, Jules beat his ass! Jules beat his ass, which I thought was fucking crazy. But Chris, you know, still to this day will defend himself and be like, I didn't lose that fight. Well, that's not what everyone else said, apparently. I wasn't there to see it, so I don't know if they could be lying. But, you know, Marcus and Amari both say, yeah, Chris got his ass beat by Jules, so I don't know. But either way, I just thought it was really funny. Because it's not every day that you get fucking flashed while you're playing Nerf Wars, right? But either way, so, with that, guys, I've written this wonderful video to close. Don't forget to like, I can't talk, so you know what, I'm just gonna say, if you like it, good, share it, good, bye.